What's up?
Oh, good day.
How's it?
It's pretty good. How's it going?
It's pretty good.
That's good. That should be good then.
We just started. There's so much to talk about.
I know.
Welcome. Here we go.
And I'm not Tony Hawk. I think I might. I know we got to do other shows, but I just got to pad up. I just want to do a grind, at least a grind before I go home. Just got to get the legs
I would
going.
like to do a grind.
I'm not trying to rub it in.
No, I know, but I'm saying like I'd take that. I'd get out there and do a grind for sure.
Yeah, I got my new Jimmy Wilkins board, and I
sick.
got gold trucks from the skate shop.
Whoa!
I know, so I'm probably gonna be better.
Christmas morning. Look at you.
They match my teeth.
All right.
Shout out to Jimmy Wilkins.
Shout out. So I know this is going to air, like what I'm talking about will air eventually, but we recorded a bunch of shows in LA recently, including Sean Evans that has aired by now, which was awesome, right?
Yeah.
That was sick. And then, well, I'll just say what happened to me that day.
Okay.
So we recorded a bunch of shows.
Yeah.
Back to back, right?
Yeah.
I was staying in LA because we were going to do another show the next morning, which I'll get into. Yeah. And then I'm driving to the hotel at night, and they're like, "Hey, someone called me and said, can you get to New York by 2 p.m. on Saturday? It's Thursday night." I'm like, "Yeah, probably." They said because they wrote you into a skit on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yep, I can get there.
Hell yeah,
sure, whatever it takes." And I only plan to spend one night in LA, and then drive home. So the next morning, you and I recorded with Seth Rogen.
Yeah,
which was very good.
If you don't like it, I quit. It's the best show I've ever been a part of.
It's very entertaining. It was very fun, and I left straight from there and drove to the airport in LA and left my car there, flew to New York, and then got to New York completely unprepared to be there. It's freezing there. So then I went straight to the store and bought a jacket.
No way.
Underwear and socks. Yeah, because I'm just flying.
You got nothing.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, I'm in the NBC studios.
Just to add, we did eat a ghost pepper burger before we left.
That's true.
You didn't feel that.
Dave's Hot Chicken. I didn't. No, I was
after
okay.
it.
I was okay. Yeah.
Well, I didn't eat that day, and all I had was a ghost pepper, and it went right through me.
It was extremely.
My body rejected it and went into shock.
Did you like it though?
I did. I like. Well, the one we had the day before, where it didn't burn my face off, was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of burn is not good for me. That hurt like pretty quickly.
Yeah.
By the time I was on the freeway, I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah, it's a direct hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost instantaneous.
I enjoyed it.
I thought.
Yeah. So I've never been on Saturday Night Live before.
I thought it was real good.
Thank you.
Because remember we were.
Well, they had sent me the script that night before I got the flight, and I only had one line, and I was like, "Is that it?" And literally my whole line was me saying my name.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I guess that's it. And then when I got there and we went through rehearsal and the read through happened, I was like, oh, I get it now.
Okay.
Because it just kind of adds to the chaos of the whole skit.
Yeah.
And the skit's funny on its own with or without me. Not that I was going to bring it all together, but it was really fun. And then because they liked how I read it, they gave me another line.
Hey, because you did do good.
So that was awesome.
It made it funny.
Thank you.
Money.
Yeah. Like I remember thinking you weren't talking that highly of it, and then I saw it on Instagram, and I'm like, well, that definitely should have gone to that.
You all right?
Do you notice anything different, Tony?
That's a loaded question.
I'm looking a little grizzly.
Do you know our friends at MANSCAPED are now selling beard products?
Really? Did I look surprised just then?
Yes.
So now you can use Manscaped to shave my golden rod and have my face look like a Greek god?
Manscaped can help you from your waist to your face with their brand new Beard Header Pro Kit.
Ooh, wait, it's actually different. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm glad I did that. Wait, this is better.
No more drawers full of 20 different guards with 20 lengths. It's never been so easy to find your signature beard look.
Plus, the trimmer has titanium-coated T-blade that is tough on hair but smooth on your face. That brings satisfaction one stroke at a time. Yeah, I know a thing or two about that.
It has the beard shampoo and conditioner. All your hair is different, and your beard hair is much more coarse and easier to damage. That's why the kit has shampoo and conditioner specially designed to moisturize, reduce ingrown hairs, and replenish your natural oils, promoting beard health.
The Pro Beard Kit also comes with 3 free gifts: the beard brush, comb, and scissors to ensure your beard is ready to impress and ready to undress, if you know what I mean.
Wink, wink. It doesn't say Jason winks on the
I'm
script.
doing it anyway.
So get 20% off and free shipping with our code HawkWolf. Manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use our code HawkWolf. The Manscaped Beard Hedger Pro Kit, the premier solution to face grooming. Don't have a weird beard. Do you see that? It's waterproof. There you go.
Boom.
But I mean, I've seriously been a fan of Saturday Night Live since the beginning. Like, I'm that old. And
yeah, for some weird reason, I thought you'd already been there.
No. I mean, I met a few of the people. I went to a taping once.
Okay. But this was different. You would have been in the back more or something. Like, what's the difference?
No, I went to a taping. I was in the audience.
Right. So this time you were.
I was in the show.
Right. Backstage, the whole deal.
The whole deal. Yeah.
Everybody try and take photos with you? The cast?
Some, yeah. It wasn't until, it's so crazy the day of the show there, because they're just scrambling. I mean, they've been working on it for almost a week, and everyone's trying to figure stuff out. And then like you go through a whole rehearsal, and the rehearsal is almost 2 hours, and the show's only an hour and a half. So they have to cut stuff. They have they have to trim skits. They have to cut skits. So they do full test runs of skits, which I knew about, but watching it and watching how involved it all is, it was pretty overwhelming.
Yeah, and some of them just, they do it and it doesn't.
And then that's it. They're just like, no, that one's out.
Wow.
and Lorne Michaels, who has been the producer of the show since the beginning, he's right there for every aspect of it. And then right before, so they do rehearsal, then they trim stuff, they change lines, then they do a dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
And then they do one more rehearsal before the whole thing happens. And in between the very last rehearsal and the live show, things change. Like stuff gets trimmed and cut.
Okay.
And Lauren, so when they have their final meeting before they're going to go live, Lauren is up there. I mean, he's been doing it forever. And he goes through every shot list, every single line, and he's okay. We need to make sure you nail that one. You know, make sure you go to this camera angle. Like, he's so embedded in the whole thing. It's crazy.
That's impressive, because he's gonna be old now, right?
Yeah, and everyone listens to him like his word is bond. That's it. And so it was really fun to see that process.
Yeah.
And then when it's go time, it all happens so fast. Everything, and just sets are changing and people are running in and out and getting into costumes.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, they have a party. They ran out of a whole restaurant bar. I think it's always different places, but they ran out this whole restaurant bar, and then the whole cast is there. Because when you're in the show, the cast is running around so much, you don't really get a chance to connect with anyone.
Yeah, they're in work mode.
Yeah, and then they go to this party and everyone's free to hang out, and it was super fun.
Is that where you met Kareem Campbell, or was that the airport?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Wow.
That was at the airport.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, yeah. That's pretty cool. Like, he posted it.
Yeah.
Like, he was stoked.
Yeah. Have
you met him before?
Once before, yeah, but I don't think he remembered.
All right.
But at the after party, as I was about to walk out, there was all this commotion. I was like, what's going on? And Madonna showed up.
Whoa.
Like, she wasn't in the show.
Just a party?
Just to go to the after party. And then I was like, oh, here's my chance to finally meet Madonna and tell her that I, named this trick after her. And she was so surrounded by, well, first by people who were in the show, fans and stuff, and then by her bodyguards. It was impenetrable. Like, you're not getting near her.
Oh, wow.
And so she walked right by me, but there was no chance of like, hey.
Oh.
So I missed that window.
How'd she look?
She looked good. It's Madge.
Yeah. That was a professional answer. I'd just have to jump in there, man. I don't know. You think security would punch you in the face if you barged?
No, I mean, I guess if I had, it just was all so fast.
Yeah.
And at some point she was gone and I was like, oh, I should have, I actually started to walk towards it because I thought she got stopped at the door on the way out by whoever. So I went over to the door to try to get my second chance. And she was gone.
Well,
I mean, it's understandable.
It's not over. She's not dead
It's not
yet.
over. No.
You can still bump into her.
But that was crazy. And then, so their party starts at 1:30 a.m., 2 a.m.
Did the cast party?
Well, I mean, I think it depends on the host.
Okay.
And for sure, with Aubrey Plaza being the host, there was a lot of hype.
Oh, okay.
So they all
Who's
came
Aubrey
out.
Plaza?
She's in the new White Lotus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the latest one. But she was on Parks and Rec, and
yeah.
She's a hot commodity. So everyone came out for that, and then so I feel like they all show up for that kind of thing.
Okay.
But at some point I'm at the party and it was like, it's 4 a.m. I haven't been there that long.
Yeah.
I'm not one to be out like that.
Yeah.
But I had to get up at 6 to get my flight. So I was like, I'm out of here. I can't do this.
Did you sleep?
I slept on the plane on the way home.
Okay. Yeah, that was
my
ridiculous.
chance. Yeah, I'm not living that life anymore. So that was, it was fun for a moment, but
yeah, I can't do it,
exhausting.
man. I feel like the sleep thing is, because I wasn't sure what it was, and now that it's like, that's the other thing. I don't eat before I do a show. I get like a little amped, and I don't get hungry, and then after the show, I don't get hungry until right when I go to bed, and the only thing that I want to eat when I go to bed is candy. So I'll like eat clean all day and then eat candy before I go to bed and not work out, which is making me fat. And because I'm old, it's like a scary fat. It's like, if you don't take care of this, you're just going to have a bit of a gut. And it's like, well, that's what men get in their 50s. It's like, not if they work out and they don't eat candy at 3 a.m.
Wow.
So that's what I got to do.
I don't think you need to be so hard on yourself.
I have to, or I'll be a fat man.
That's it. It's just all or nothing.
It's all or not. It's always been like that. I got to watch it. So I set up my gym the other day, but I don't have as much room as I used to have. So I set up all the mats in the garage. I took everything out. And then when I put all the mats up and the wall and everything, I was like, it's ready to go. And then I looked out in the driveway and I was like, shit. That's not going to fit anywhere. I'm just going to have to put it back in over the gym. So I found out that I have storage. I said to my wife, I was like, we need storage. And she's like, why? I'm like, we don't have enough room in the garage for me to have a gym. And she goes, we have storage. I was like, already?
You have a storage unit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know. But apparently it's got room in it. So I'm like, well, that worked out because I'm already paying for that. Right? She's like, yep, you are. So I can put all that in storage and then I'll have a gym. So I'm getting closer to the...
All right, we're all rooting for you.
Thank you. I just can't be fat. Don't be fat. Don't give up, because it's just like, people are like, you reach a certain age. I'm like, I want to touch my toes. I want to jump. I did stand up last night and they have to pull stuff out of a box and out of the bucket. And one of the things on the bucket said that I had to jump up and down for a minute. And I got so tired and I was like, dude, you're fat.
How is that a comedy bit?
The bucket has 160 different things in it. and you've got to make jokes out of the stuff that's in there. But some of the things aren't jokes; they're just tortures.
All right, so everyone is watching you jump up and down for a minute.
Yeah.
Did you make jokes while you jumped up and down?
I said, "This is not funny."
Oh my God.
But I didn't write it. I just did it.
What the?
Another guy had to take all his clothes off.
No way.
Just told jokes in his underwear. Big fat guy.
Oh.
Another
I thought
reason
you meant
why
he had to get naked.
he should have hit the emergency button like I am. I'm like, no candy, fat boy.
Dude.
I want to skate, man. I got a new
Feels
board.
like you're fat shaming.
Myself?
Yourself.
Hell yeah.
Well,
Okay, look.
by proxy.
I'm not calling anybody else listening fat. I'm just saying, for me, I still haven't figured out how to be that nice of a coach. I react to get up, you know? That guy always gets me going.
I am looking forward to being regularly active and skating again.
I know,
Yes.
right?
Yes, very much so.
I know. I was going through photos.
I haven't sweated the way that I
know,
sweat when
me
I
too.
skate in a long time.
I know. Yeah,
And
that's got to be done.
As much as it feels exhausting at the time, it's gratifying.
After it, so
Yeah.
much better. I know. I feel like I've got a haze on me right now. I just want to get it off. And it's like,
Haze, and you sweat it out.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's the first, it's like when you don't work out for a long time and then you do, the first time back sucks because you're better than this.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh, it hurts. And
Yeah.
I can't do it. And I get tired quicker. And you're like, man, I was way better than this. I don't want to go back. But if you take a break, guess what? You got to go back.
I was doing something the other day in here, actually.
Yeah.
And because I'm starting my own podcast. No, I'm just kidding. I was doing an interview in here.
You got plenty of time for that, so that would work.
And then I walked out. There was a heavy session going on. Jimmy Wilkins, Bucky Lasek, Shay Donovan, Reese, everyone's out there. And then I come around the corner and I see Kevin. I could see his helmet on the other side of the deck. So I come around the corner. Kevin drops in 50-50 front side invert.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then he on the next wall just kicks out like, woo!
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, how long you been trying that? He goes, that was the first one.
So good.
I was like, that was the first one. You waited for me to come around the corner
Yeah.
to do your first front side ever. I was like, that's all I wanted to do today. That was my goal. So
I like it.
I was very happy for him, but also insanely jealous.
Yeah, I want to copy his
Regiment.
restraint.
His restraint, yes.
Do our trick, leave.
Not even make it to the next wall.
No.
Like, don't just get
You're
out.
halfway in the car with your pads on. Front side invert, off the side of the ramp,
Yeah.
into your car. home.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Safety.
I think that's what we need. You and I need to go out and do grinds and then just ride away.
Yeah.
Ride off the flat, bounce.
Yes, that's what we need to do. And then if
Okay.
it felt real good, maybe 2 grinds, then go home.
See, now you're
Not
pushing
75.
it. Now you're pushing it.
All right. Well, I have
Did
no
you say
problem.
$1.75?
I'm about to leave right now. That's how far away I am from skating. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do a grind. I'm gonna get
You're gonna
those-
skate today.
Those gold trucks are scratching something today.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Maybe we could do something on the live show with you skating.
Can we not do that?
Okay, not
First day back, like, look at this.
Patreon Live, Jason's first session.
Oh
Woo!
no. After jumping up and down for a minute yesterday, I don't feel good. My hopes are not high.
I do got to say that I did my physical therapy. My physical therapy is getting more rigorous
Yeah.
and more challenging
Yeah.
because
Your legs getting sharp.
Yeah, but he's like, let's get it.
Yeah.
And then he left my house, and I was like, I feel good. I feel loose. And then I just got my board and went in the backyard and then carved around. And it was the first time since I got hurt that I was truly generating speed.
Okay.
'Cause
Oh.
Before, when I was skating, yeah, I could get to the top of the ramp, but I was kind of along for the ride.
Yeah.
And if I was going to try something that required speed, I would do, I remember this vividly, I would do a setup air, and depending on the landing, that's all the speed I'm going to get.
Right.
It's not going to be generated from my legs. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of how high I land on the wall and if I can ride it out smoothly.
Yeah.
So speed is just a distant memory.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden I'm like leaning forward, carving, getting speed. It's pretty awesome.
So you're good, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I'm not supposed to be skating. There's not supposed to be any impact yet. I made sure there was no impact, but to generate speed was very gratifying.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you're going to, obviously coming back from a big injury, but then going through skating with that leg so smashed, now starting again, yes, you haven't skated full on for a long time, but just having that power and stability in that leg that you didn't have all that time, because that was like, what, 5 months of skating with a jank leg?
7 months. It's crazy how suddenly it just felt
So
normal. It was like,
gnarly.
okay, here we go, pain for the day. And then I'd go home and I would have to, like, if I was sitting on a couch, after I skate, if I was sitting on a couch or a chair, I would have to get up in stages.
Yeah.
There would be like stage 1 was, just with my butt off. And then stage 2 was like almost up. And stage 3 was up. But then I'd have to stand and let my legs settle into place and then start. Well, it was so lame. I hated it.
Well, you made it, champ. I can't wait till we're skating again and we're not like shitty. Just like I'm not like the best I've ever been, but I don't feel bad. Feels pretty cool.
You mean that's what you're looking forward to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you, but at the same time, I'm saying, like, we are like skating. Yep, we're skating. You want to try that? Yeah, we can try that because we both feel normal and we can try that. Not, maybe in a couple months down the road, ask me. Like, I'm so sick of being like mangled and dangerous. Like, it's a weird, you got so much more hurt than me, but my head crack in Utah, like, I think maybe because I was a little in the clouds for a couple of days, but I think I scared my wife a little bit. Like,
really?
Yeah.
With your mental capacity?
Just all the things that I do. Because I don't think when you and, I know it's not out yet, but Andrew Huberman talked to me about fighting and stuff. Well, I went home and I told my wife and she was like, good. So I think my wife was always just trying to be supportive and not say anything that might affect what I was going to do. Because you can't say, I'm really worried about your brain. And then I'm like, well, cool, because this weekend I'm fighting a dude that wants to break it. That's not a good angle, but
you're officially not fighting.
Because
you're officially not fighting.
Yeah, I did a live show yesterday and told my fans. And then 80% of my fans were like, good for you. Like, we're not coming to Alice Mania to see you bash your brains out, dude. Yeah. Like, you did it. It's cool. And I was like, okay, I was expecting 80% of them to be like, pussy. You know what I mean? Like, the only reason I come is to watch you, like, try to duck something. But so it seems like everyone's not mad at me. No one's let down. And I feel safer and I feel smarter. I never make wise decisions. And I feel like that was totally considered a wise decision.
It's a big one.
It is a big one. But it's not like I just said, right, that's it. No more dangerous activities. I'm here. It's just as dangerous.
About to skate.
It's just way more worthy. It's kind of...
Sure, but
I don't want to die doing it.
The intent of the fights is that someone gets beat.
Yeah. In the head, in the brain.
Yes,
right.
Very much that's the directive.
Right.
So here, that's not the directive so much.
Right, you're right.
I get that it happens.
It can happen.
It can happen,
right.
But the odds are good that it won't.
Yes. And if you come with a wiser mindset and you're like, okay, maybe today's not the day to push it. I've never had that, I've just always been like, I'm hot and sweaty. And someone was like, have you ever tried that? I'm like, nah, here we go. And then I can get pissed off for an hour and try it. And I'm like, if it's almost there, I'll just muscle it in. It's like, no, dude, don't muscle. Don't do requests. Do what you want to do, what gets you back in the car, not an ambulance.
Yes.
Agreed. I miss that. Not even tricks. I just miss the pump the ramp with everything you got and fly into the air. I'm not talking about going 8-10 feet anymore. I'm talking about just 50-50, pump, crack. It'd be like, what?
Crack.
Yeah, like, I don't care what happens right now because I'm under control when it's like face high. That's what, and I know that's an achievable goal.
I know that I'm at least back on a level that I'm happy with and confident with when I can go backside over the gap.
Right.
Because that was out of the question.
Yeah, because that is more. You do need. You can because
You
I've
need
done
so much more speed.
Right, I've done the front sit air where I land real high and I'm like, oh, you're definitely going over, no problem.
Yeah.
But I still feel this urge to be like, no.
And to cheat it, to cut it short somehow. Yeah. But you can't.
Why does
you,
it seem
you can't
bigger
do a
that way?
backside. It's hard. I mean, frontside setups don't give you speed, but that's just another story.
That's why you do the alley-oop back.
I did alley-oop, but I couldn't do alley-oops
Right.
in my last recovery.
Because you're on one leg.
Yeah. Yeah. And alley-oops, you land high. And when
Yeah.
you land high, there's a lot of pressure on your
Dude,
legs.
speaking of high, freaking Reese
She's getting high now.
is going higher.
Yeah.
And she just did like
She
four
does-
big backside
yeah,
airs
she
and
does
then-
big
and
setup
then a
airs.
backside
Yeah.
5. And I was like, you're like, every time I come here,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
way better. Like that, she is the hardest working athlete in showbiz, baby. Because every time I come here, there's only one person I see here that skates by themselves, and that's her.
Did you see her do cab kickflip tail
Oh,
grab?
yeah. You sent it to me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and made it look like that's not
All
hard.
the time.
Yeah.
Any day. Sure. Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, if she gets, she's like 5'8", 5'9" or something. She looks like she could be tall. Just seems like even in this short time that I've known her, she's got taller and
Much stronger.
all these things are, you can tell they're all coming
Yeah.
together and it's like, wow,
She was
you're
trying
going
to
to
do.
be.
She was trying to switch flips yesterday.
How was that?
I mean, she's got the motion.
I skated the ramp with her just now and she was like, me. And I was like, what? She's so tiny, my big ears can't hear it. And she's like, do a kickflip. And I'm like, can I just do a 540 instead? Like, do you realize the request? What are you trying to do to a man? No, I'm not doing a kickflip right now.
She's saying do a kickflip on the ramp,
Yeah.
like on the wall.
No, just on, I think she
Oh, on
meant
the flat?
just anywhere.
Anywhere,
Jason,
anyhow.
you fat old
Anytime,
bastard.
yeah.
I was like, no, I cannot do that request.
God, I was reminded today about when I did that kickflip, my first kickflip,
Yeah.
and how torturous it was, and how
Unsatisfying because you knew it was never going to happen again.
yeah. And but I remember it thinking when the day came, like how it wasn't even that I was excited. It was more just I was so anxious and nervous about it. And then I knew that it would probably get done, but I wouldn't feel this sense of accomplishment. And that's exactly how it happened. Like it happened and I was like, ugh,
Yeah.
like that's over and I'm not doing it again.
So lame.
And I didn't know obviously what the deal was with my leg then, but yeah, someone reminded me of today and I look back like, ugh.
Yeah, because it's a terrible section of life where you're trying to be a skateboarder and didn't have the knowledge that your leg's not attached
Yeah, well,
for a long period.
I know. I think it was more I was in denial and I was really believing that something would make it connect. So
Yeah.
I was doing every single treatment possible.
Yeah.
Because everyone's saying, this is it. This is what's going to work. This is going to work. And none of it worked. Anyway, I know I've been over that story, but it was someone asked me about it today. So I was reminded of it. And I feel like the next kickflip that I do will be one of many.
Yeah, and probably won't hurt.
I hope.
I feel good about it.
I hope I'm able to do more than a kickflip, honestly.
On street.
Yeah. I mean, if I feel like if I'm finally moving forward, then I'll be able to heel flip and shove a kickflip. And
I don't know why
that's
you
pretty
would
much
do
all I
that,
got.
but
That's all I
sure.
got.
Yeah.
Oh, I can do frontside shove it heel flips. That was always my
that's a banger.
that was always my skate secret weapon when playing skate.
Yeah. Oh, because you got it down.
I got it enough that I can do it, and so people would be like, "Wait, what? You're not supposed to do that."
Yeah, no, you're not.
Yeah, well,
But I know how, I see how you could do that one.
yeah,
It's kind of how you do heel flip fronts. It is.
yeah. Yeah, I set up my feet in the worst way possible.
You look like you're about to do it.
Yeah,
trick.
it's no secret that's coming. Guess what I'm doing?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you do give it away a little bit.
When I did that street part for the barracks, I went up there. I was driving up there like
Yeah,
a couple times a week to get the whole Battle Commander
So fun.
Street part. They wanted me to learn a trick in that process, so that was going to be another video. And I said I always want to learn laser flips.
Yeah, me too.
You know what laser flip is?
Yeah.
Dude, I spent so long trying laser flips there that I was sweaty and exhausted. At one point, I fell and I was like, I can't get up.
Yeah.
This is it. I have given it my all. I cannot do this trick.
Yeah, that's what I said.
On laser flips?
Yeah, I made a bet with my son. I do a laser flip.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
He's got a really cool e-bike because I can't do laser.
Did you get the board around?
Yeah, once or twice. That was the worst part about it, is it was so bad that I was like, I don't even need to like sweat. Just take the bike.
Oh, I see.
And then it went around.
Oh,
and I was like, oh,
when you get a taste of it.
I think I
the worst.
figured it out. And I'm like, you did not.
I started trying on the flat. I can only get my board around like 270. That was my issue, is I could flip it, but I just can't get my board. And I thought, okay, I'll fix it by, cheating a little kick turn out of it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't catch my back foot on my tail enough to get the kick turn out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I need a little lift. So then I move over to the bank. Right. So I'm trying it like to fakie on a bank.
It's a bit slower.
And each one of these processes is a good half hour or more of tries. So I'm getting progressively more worn down. And then I'm like, okay, I need a smaller board. So I borrow a smaller board.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. Because my board is my vert board with 60s on it. So then then my timing's way off because like the tail hits, sooner and I can't. So I'm like, all right, not the other board.
Went back to your board.
Back to my board.
Oh.
Then I go, okay, I need to do it off of a bank. So then I'm doing it from a bank to flat.
Yeah.
Or, bank to deck. And that was the bitter end.
All right.
But I did get closer there.
Because you got more time.
I got more time, but then at the same time, I was landing 270. And when I'd land 270 from that height, then it would just throw me on my back.
All right.
It was so humiliating. And then the guys, they were super encouraging. I got to give it up to Chase and the barracks because they were like, oh man, like, let's come back tomorrow. We'll try it again. I'm like, I am never trying this trick again.
Don't ever talk to me
like
again.
This was everything I had and it's not working.
Yeah, that trick also, when it goes wrong, man, you feel stupid.
Oh, well, especially when it doesn't do
flip
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah. When it doesn't do anything, you're like, what
when you
did
do
I
like
do?
7 of those in a row, you're like, dude.
It's like you're doing a nothing on vert.
Yeah. And then if there was people watching me do it at the barracks, I'd be like, dude, no.
Oh man, it was.
What is it that you're trying over there?
Oh.
I don't know.
So,
laser flip.
Donovan, who was there, who was actually helping me try to do it. I borrowed his board.
Yeah.
Then we came back 2 days later and I said, look, I've never done a big flip of any kind. Like, let's do that.
Yeah, okay.
And then I did that.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Yeah.
Also sounds just as impossible for me. That sounds crazy.
But you know what I realized when I was starting to try big flips? I feel like if I did a big flip, heel flip, doing that 180 with the laser flip would work. Do you know what I'm saying?
Are you going backside still?
No, frontside. I'm talking about doing the laser flip, but going frontside 180 at the same time. That's a big flip, like a big heel.
Yeah. Yeah, nah.
I like how you went through the motion of it. Like, nah.
Yeah, no. I just know my legs would be like, nah, we don't want to be a part of that. Think of something else, dude.
Yeah, good chance you're gonna land primo too.
Yeah, and that's also when you're an old vert dude. When you land primo, you don't get out of it as good as street dudes.
No,
you know they go, oh, I'm on primo, and then they jump off.
No, I go
ride
straight
it
to
through.
my back. Yeah.
I try to let my ass land on the board if possible.
Huh? That's like credit card.
I don't want to. It just seems like that happens.
If possible.
Yeah.
You're saying it's a choice.
I'm saying that every time I land primo, that could turn into a serious injury because I don't get out of it too good. It's that little step at the start that I'm missing.
Oh man,
a little jump step or whatever it is that they have that I don't have.
There was a video of me, one of the first Birdhouse videos. I have to find it of me trying to do a shove it off a nose slide off a bench, and then my board goes Primo and I land on my butt crack on Primo, full weight.
Yeah.
And it doesn't turn immediately.
Stays in there.
It kind of stays and then
goes the wrong way for a bit.
Yeah. And it was like, I'm not going to try that trick anymore.
Yeah. Something about a hard piece of wood across the taint that really changes your plans.
Especially when it's unintentional.
Yeah. Well, what is that?
I don't know. I'm just, the way you said
don't know.
Something about it.
That's not a thing for me yet.
You'd say yet?
Yeah. I'm going to talk to Katie about it tonight, see how that goes. I don't know. Could be cool. You never know.
Well, I know when it happens on the skateboard, it sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. It's so much harder to do on vert, but it can be done.
Oh, man. I'm trying to think of what
I've done it on the shins.
Oh, dude. Shins for days.
I don't know if I've done it in the butt.
Have you ever landed on your board when it's with its wheels down and then like you're on your butt or your back and then you gotta ride it out and it just whips you for a whole new injury?
Yeah, I've done it where I landed on it and then it rolled off to the side and I was trying to land on my butt and put my hands down and the board hit my butt and we took off to the right and I ran over my own thumb with my butt. And I was like, can it get any worse? Because I got ragdolled by the board and then all of a sudden after the fact, I'm like, why is my thumb killing me? And I'm like, oh, you ran over your own hand.
I remember we were skating a loading dock. It was like early Birdhouse days. So I'm skating with Willie Santos, Jeremy Klein, and I tried to do something and just whatever. I just wasn't I'm just there skating with them, but I tried to do something significant. And
it's very honorable of you.
Slam, whatever. So I was just over it, but I was still kind of moving. Like I landed, I was like, oh, and then I landed on one of those things where you're kind of on your board and your butt. So I just sort of rolled away from the loading dock.
Yeah.
But I had my hands behind me and I ran over my thumb and ripped my thumbnail off.
Oh, wow.
Off.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
With one shot, you got the whole thing off.
But it was more like, I fell, that hurt, this sucks. I'm not having fun. I'm like, oh my God.
Dude, you're making me recall that there was demos in Australia where I was on Ennis at the time and Jamie Thomas was in the street demo. And I think one other American that was like a bit of an oddball pro, but still legit. I can't remember who it was. But it was a vert demo, like a big day out kind of a thing. Then they had a street demo where they had a broken car and, the jump ramp so you could fly over the car and stuff. And I was so desperate to be a part of everything that this is when I was hanging out with Gregsy. So I had like a button-up shirt, like baggy pants, but like kind of neat, kind of fresh clothes. And it was like blue and white, I think. And I'm in this demo and, sweating like a bastard. I'm trying to hang out with the street dudes.
You already skated vert.
Yeah.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, had a shower, got Jay, and they're like, street demo. And I'm like, street demo? Ellis is in the street demo. Street Ellis, give me my board. So Street Ellis just hits the course with Jamie Thomas, who's like, this is like right when he like jumped off that giant gap and shit. Like he is, everybody's crowded around just to look at him.
Yep.
And I'm in this thing and we're ollie in the car and I'm like, I'm ollie in the car. Like Street Ellis can ollie the car, no problem. So I'm ollieing over the car and every time I land, my vert board is getting wheel bite.
Yeah.
And I'm just skidding across this tarmac, like just ripping my shit apart. And I won't stop. I haven't caught that. There's no need for you here at all. But I'm just going for it and I'm like cracking into the car and catapulting, just blah on the ground. At one point, I'm completely covered in sweat. My checkered shirt has just all got red, black marks from the asphalt, ripping my shirt. And Jamie Thomas goes, I can't figure out what you are. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, you're kind of fresh, but you're like messed up and hesh and like, and he was like trying to sum up what my vibe is.
He wants to categorize you.
Yeah, he was trying to categorize me. He's like, you don't really fit anything right now. And I was like, yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing. But I remember just being so drunk and in so much pain from just flying off a jump ramp, basically,
sure.
and just shoulder blocking the pavement for like 2 hours after a vert demo. And it's just like hobbling around.
You ever get sprawled out on asphalt that get the rocks into your palms?
Yeah.
I did that.
That's a young man's injury.
Oh man, I did that, but same thing where I'm trying something over and over, and I think it's a handrail. So every time I hit, super rough, and I'm getting either wheel bite or it's just because it's so rough I can't really carve out of it.
Yeah.
And I do that, and I do it again. So the one layer that's ripped off now has new rocks in that layer.
Yeah.
That was the worst.
Dude, when I was 6, I had a Pee-wee 50 and the track was closed. So we went to a parking lot in the bush and it was all gravel. And I was in swimming and I had my Speedos on because I was 6 and I had Speedos on because I was in swimming school. So I had Speedos on and gumboots. And my dad let me ride my Pee-wee 50 around the parking lot in the gravel, and the dogs are chasing me. And I was like, come get me, Misty. Like, like fucking with the dogs. And one of them jumped in front of me, and I slammed on the front brake to not run him over. And the bike just drops, and I go skidding across the gravel on my stomach. And I will never forget this, dude. Back door's open, so I'm standing next to the back door of the car while my dad picks out rocks out of my chest, and I'm crying, screaming. And the worst part is, it's Australia, it's summertime, flies.
Oh,
all these flies are getting on my stomach, and I'm like, get the flies off me, get the flies off me. And he's like pulling rocks out. I'm like, the rock, no more flies, I'm hideous, they're going to infect me. Like, I didn't know that, I thought maybe maggots were going to grow out of my chest. But
oh no, that's upsetting.
That was that was a lesson learned where always wear protective gear when riding a motorcycle. That's when I learned that.
At the very least, a shirt.
Yeah. From then on, leathers. Like, I always wore all my moto gear. That was a good lesson. I still
have a scar from Gleaming the Cube when we did that downhill scene, because so funny. I'm driving the. You've seen that movie? I assume.
Yeah.
I'm driving the Pizza Hut truck. Yeah. Right. Well, they didn't have enough skaters as extras that could go down that hill.
Okay.
So they got me to dress up as another person, and then they had a stunt driver drive the Pizza Hut truck.
Got it.
So I'm doubling a double.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm doubling one of the extras. That's what it was. I was doubling one of the extras. So I got his, because I had to match his uniform.
Yeah.
His outfit. So Tommy and Nadas are ahead of me, and they both speed check at the same time, but right where I'm about to speed check, so they close this gap that doesn't give me a chance to give a little like, so I have to shoot through them. And by then, I'm going too fast. Like, I've lost it. Because it was so steep.
Yeah.
So then, as soon as I get past them, I'm speed wobbling. I try to do a speed check.
Yeah.
My wheels just stick, and then I just Pete Rose down.
Yeah.
And went through. Look at that right there. I went through my elbow pad.
Oh wow!
So through my elbow pad, and then just raw, super chunky white skin.
Yeah.
That you can now see. I'm still wearing my elbow pad when I come up, so you can see that through the elbow pad part of it. And I was like, I think I gotta leave.
Were you done, or did they keep you there?
I mean, that was the last scene.
Okay.
We had already gone down once.
Okay.
But I think it was more like, we need you guys to, not keep slowing down.
Okay.
So
you went fast.
I took that. I went, yeah. But also it was me thinking I was cool that I'm going to shoot the gap between Tommy and Nadas.
I was about to say.
Tommy and Nadas needed to slow down.
Yeah.
I'm not making it.
Yeah. I still think it's pretty cool to see the gap between those two and be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Well.
For a second,
anyway. Gotta do what I can do.
For a second, they both were like, dang. And then you ate shit and they're like, yeah, okay.
But you know that I got sprawled out and everyone just kept going. No one's stopping, right?
Man.
Dude, it's Hollywood. We got to keep going.
It's Hollywood.
Yeah. So that's my scar story from that one.
I like when you bomb hills and somebody falls off and there's flashes getting burnt off at a really fast rate.
That happened
and you roll past them. And
yeah.
There's nothing you can do, so they can't get mad at you. But you're like looking at them like, dude, your arm is like totally coming off right now. And they're like, yes, it is.
When we did that game, Downhill Jam, for Nintendo Wii when it first came out, the whole thing it's like a downhill race, but you do tricks and stuff. But we did a whole shoot for that. And we were all around here in North County. We were in Fallbrook, we were in Bonsall, we were in Vista. And we were doing like the legit downhill old school with the plastic on your gloves.
Yeah, I've always wondered how that works.
Yeah, so it was
the plastic hand thing.
Mortimer was doing it too because he knew how to do that.
Yeah,
but he caught a bad one and went on his face.
Wait, so his hand slipped or something?
Like scraped his cheek right here. I have a photo of him. I'll have to find it, but he's just all bloody right there. And it was the same thing. We were doing that, and I saw him fall, and I saw him like falling onto his shoulder and his face. I was like, oh, that looked bad. And I have to just go by him because we're shooting. Staab did it too.
We'll talk about your face later.
Staab did it too. It was fun. It was a fun shoot. Like I was stoked that they gave us the freedom to do that.
Yeah, it sounds.
It ended up. They ended up in those clips. Ended up in the game.
Oh, what?
Like it was supposed to be for a commercial.
Yeah.
But they liked the footage so much that they ended up putting them in like cut scenes.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, face grinding is. My little brother did that. On his knees, hit a stick, fell forward, and just grinded his face.
Oh, I did that. Yeah.
Sick.
I did that. I did that on a day that I was homesick from school.
So you showed up the next day with face burn. Yeah.
But also, my mom was like, "What?" Because she's at work.
Sick?
Yeah. I was like, I just went out in the driveway
and did what?
And skating on my stomach. I wasn't standing.
Yeah, you were.
But I was the same thing on my stomach. Hit a rock. And then I went the next day.
That is one of the dumbest things Tony Hawk ever did on a skateboard.
What happened to your face? I was like, I was riding my skateboard. They're like, I thought you were homesick.
Yeah. Well, skateboarding makes me feel better.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was in the living room.
Busted.
So busted.
Total busted.
That was in like, it was like 6th grade.
How much trouble do you get in for skateboarding and when you say you're sick? That's not big. That's not a big deal, right?
I was in the public education system. No one cared.
That's how I remember it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I don't even think if I went to school and my face was melted off, anyone would even ask me what happened.
All they really cared about is if you were truant. So if you missed a bunch of days.
Truant.
That means you've missed too many days.
I didn't think I was going to learn anything today.
You don't have a doctor's excuse to do so. So,
yeah.
I remember.
Do you think we'd be good school teachers?
I feel like we could empathize
with the children.
Oh, yeah, or just the troubled ones, maybe.
Because we're children.
But also, yeah, that too.
We'd have a lot in common. I don't want to do homework. Yeah. Neither do I, buddy.
I feel you, dude.
Yeah, fuck this.
I still got to grade all these papers.
Let's just go shred. Fuck it. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna really look at them.
They would love Tony Hawk, the teacher. Mr. Hawk.
I went to
I'd be a good principal.
I went to a school in 8th grade that was 8th through 12th. So you're not even a freshman yet.
Yeah.
It was huge. Yeah, it was rough. It really was rough.
Yeah.
The school I went to. But I remember I got pushed down during a basketball game and fell and felt my finger crack.
Oh.
And the PE coach was trying to convince me that I was okay. And I was like, no, something's wrong. I can't bend my finger anymore. Yeah. Like, he's like, come on, like, you're fine. Basically just making something up.
Yeah.
And then I went back to my next teacher, not the PE teacher, and they're like, you should probably leave. So then I went to the hospital and they found that I fractured my pinky finger. And then I came the next day with my fingers all taped up, and the coach still was like, come on.
Come on.
Yeah, what theatrics?
But the doctor did it.
Yeah, but he still thought I was going to the doctor because I was a wuss. So it was rough, man.
I don't know how necessary that teacher is.
What's that?
I don't know how necessary it is to be like the hardest teacher in the world to make your kid like tough as nails? I feel like being tough as nails is overrated.
Yeah, I mean, it was just more. I think it was more frustrating to me that he just didn't believe that I was hurt. I was like, dude, because I'm so used to getting hurt.
Yeah.
That if I'm telling you like something's really wrong, it's probably something. But he just thought I was just some whiny kid that was just like, I hurt myself. I'll go home. So that was frustrating.
He didn't realize the game that you play.
Yeah. So that I was in 8th. That was Sarah High School, by the way. I went to 8th grade in Sarah High School. I looked like I was in 6th grade.
I know you were a late
So I
bloomer.
literally looked like someone's little brother visiting campus every day.
Yeah.
So people didn't think I actually went to school. And
So
like,
they pick on you too, right?
What's that?
They pick on you for that too, right?
Absolutely, yeah. But once they learned that I did go to school there, they were like, "Oh, what's up, stud?"
Yeah, right.
You know, it was just, and then so then my parents moved, and then the next school I went to, San Diego, it was 9th through 12th grade. So now I'm 9th grade, freshman, bottom of the hierarchy, and then I moved again and went to Torrey Pines High School, which was 10th through 12th grade. So then I'm in 10th grade.
So you're the lowest again.
Wham.
If you had have been not the lowest, would have you shit on people under you? Like, would have you?
But I just mean like I was always getting bullied.
Right. I'm just asking. I was like, were you like wishing?
And I was still too small. Even when I was in 9th grade, I looked like I was tiny. So people are just. I remember one time at 9th grade, I was literally just walking through the hallway. This dude picks me up and spins me around twice, and then sets me back down.
Yeah, that's not cool.
And I was just like, cool. And he was huge.
Right.
I mean, he was normal size, but he was way bigger than me. I had no allies.
Right.
So I was like, all right, I guess this is what happens.
Being Tony Hawk in the end was a giant fuck you to those guys, right?
It helped.
Like that guy is like, man, he won that race, you know? Like at one point I was bigger and I twirled him around twice in the classroom. And now,
yeah, I don't even think. I mean, that was at San Diego. I hid my skateboard
because it was so uncool.
Yeah, it was so uncool.
I remember that.
And I didn't have a locker that fit it, so I would hide it in the bushes before school.
I'm not that much younger than you, and because Australia's behind, I feel like I was in that where it was like not a thing that you pulled out and would receive any compliments for.
I didn't have to hide it at Torrey Pines because they were a little more, I don't know,
progressive.
I think it was more that
don't smash the skateboarder.
I remember that the principal he was more supportive because he knew that I was actually traveling and doing stuff.
Okay.
So he was a little more understanding of that plight.
Okay.
So I wasn't getting hassled by him or by the I mean a little bit by certain teachers, but not by the staff for the most part.
Yeah.
And also Doug Silva was a pro surfer, went to Torrey Pines at the same time. So they're like, we got a pro skateboarder and a pro surfer.
Oh, wait, you were a pro skateboarder. You were pro at school and you were uncool.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Even if you were pro, you were uncool.
Yeah, I was 16 and like coming out of my, like I remember I'd park in the parking lot when I had a car. I bought my car with my contest earnings.
That would have been rare, right? People your age with their own cars.
Not at Torrey Pines.
Oh, that is a weird thing.
It was a
in
public
America.
school, but it was it's in a pretty affluent
in Australia,
area.
People didn't get.
I know.
Parents didn't give kids cars.
And anywhere else you go, I mean, I didn't live in the affluent area.
Yeah.
I was on the outskirts, but definitely I was like, wait, this is not the way it was back at San Diego.
Yeah, I remember when I first moved here, I thought that there was like a bunch of teenagers that were stealing new cars in California.
Yeah.
Because I was like, there's no way that's your car.
Yeah.
There's no way that's your car.
It was.
I'm like, there's like 20.
It was the Torrey Pines.
Yeah, okay.
For sure. But I had a 77 Honda Civic, so mine wasn't a standout vehicle.
Yeah, but it's still, it's pretty flashy for a kid.
Oh, I was hyped.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me?
And then
But anyway, I would
one?
get to school and then I'd be walking and I would look like a skater.
Yeah.
Which was already kind of rare. It was 1984.
Did you have that stupid haircut yet? I mean, sorry, that
it was starting to develop. It was starting to develop.
Groundbreaking.
And so people yelling at me from their cars while they're driving through the parking lot, skater fact. Skater fact, like while they're driving to their parking space. And I'm like, cool. Good times.
Well, look at you now, bird mate.
That's my gripe.
Look at
but
this.
I speak for a whole generation. There was a whole generation of people, especially at our age, in high school in the U.S., that were endlessly hassled because they skated.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm probably more physical. Probably
You pioneered that shit, bird mate.
Woo!
All these people out here that are getting a pat on the back for
Trying to
being
get
a
all the,
skateboarder.
I'm trying to get all the firsts.
This guy. Thanks again.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no, you should just say yes. There you go. Take a compliment. Thank you, Birdman, for making us cool, making us acceptable. Here's one. I've probably told you, but I fly to America every year, and someone goes, "What are you? You're pretty young. What are you doing on the plane?" I'm a pro skateboarder. What? How do you do that? Is that a job? And then Tony Hawk showed up, and then next 1 year, all of a sudden, same flight. Hey, what are you coming over here for? I'm skateboarding. Do you know Tony Hawk? Because it's a real job now. I remember everyone saying to me, "That's so awesome." Not how. How is it possible?
Right.
Why would anybody pay you? You're a child on a skateboard. Just no way. That's awesome. You changed that whole conversation where people were just like, that's your job. You're a professional skate. Hey, did you see this kid over here is a professional skateboarder? Whole different thing where people in the plane be like, nuh-uh, is that true? And it would be like rejoiced.
I remember we were on a Bones Brigade tour, probably like 89-ish, which we thought was the heyday, right?
Yeah, me too.
But in Europe, and we had taken I think we had taken a ferry to the UK. I can't remember where from. We might have driven through the Channel. I'm not sure, but we got there in our PAL tour van, and we've been already going through most of Europe. And they held us at the border check for half a day because they said, "What are you doing here?" And we said, "We're skateboarding." "What are you talking about?" "Well, we're professional skateboarders."
Oh.
Or they go, "What do you do for a living?"
Yeah.
"We ride a skateboard." "Well, that's not a job."
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're doing." "Yeah, but that's not a job."
But it is.
And it was like, and then our tour manager made the mistake of saying, "You have pro skaters in the UK." And they're like, "No.
No.
No." They were like, "No.
Nah, mate.
That doesn't exist as a thing.
Yeah.
You're not going to prove us wrong.
Yeah.
And now you're fucked
Yeah.
because we're keeping you here
Yeah.
and we're going through all your stuff."
So crazy.
And
man.
they went through all of our stuff, and they were just like, basically, they're just kids riding skateboards.
Yeah. Who have a really bad story.
Yeah.
Because pro skateboarding is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
But I'll never forget when the tour manager, Dennis, who was awesome, but he definitely would snap on people.
Yeah.
When he snapped, and he's like, "You have a pro skater in the UK.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to see him right now."
And
the
they
guy's
didn't like that.
like the tables turned right in that moment,
They're like,
and then we're all in the back like, "Oh, yeah."
that's awesome. Look at us now. Come on. All right. Make sure you like and describe our sensational program, you bastards.
Why do you don't
In
bully
Australia,
listeners?
that means I love you. You bastard.
you bastard.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Like, describe, and don't bully people.
See our Patreon. Patreon.com/Hawk versus Wolf. It's
We
great.
do this live sometimes, and you can interact with us.
Interact.
Okay. Later.
Interact.
Interact, bro. Weird beard.